Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fabulous Aura. I am making my return. I'm Fabulous Vontae, and today I don't really get this meme, but we're reading a fan fiction about Bowsette. Or can you explain what
How's it
Bowsette
going,
is?
guys? My name is Markiplier, and welcome to Bowsette's Awakening.
You just made me spit out my water.
What is going on, guys? My name is KumaDen, and welcome back to Fortnite.
I'm not a Fortnite YouTuber.
Yuck. Alright, okay. So, Vontae kind of explained it, but we're reading a Bowsette fanfiction. And this fanfiction I thought was really funny, because I was like, man, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I was originally going to do this with Athena, but Athena is an old lady and has to sleep. And basically he's been too busy to do this. She was going to join me and Vontae, but me and Vontae are going to do it by ourselves. Okay, so Vontae. For voices, I'm going to be the commentator.
I'm just going to read.
I want you to be, yeah, I got this. You're going to voice Bowser and some of the Koopas.
No.
Because, yes.
No. I'm
yes.
not doing no voices.
You don't have to do a voice. This is why I picked you to be Bowsette, because it's just like, because I feel like Bowser would still kind of have his voice. I could be wrong, though. I just thought it would be funny to have your normal voice as Bowsette. Alright. It had been so long since he felt this way. In his early, more pixelated days, the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom would cower in fear at his presence. His minions looking on in reverie. But times had changed. He'd played the same role over and over, and what was once threatening had become little more than a reoccurring joke. And of course, everyone knew the punchline. Mario saved the princess, and Bowser would go back to formulating his next plan that was inevitably doomed to fail. But the way the room looked at him now, the Goombas with their mouths hanging open, the Shy Guys with their wide eyes, the Hammer Bros gripping their hammers tightly. It was as if they had been reborn. He was something new, something exciting, someone to be worshipped, and best of all, someone to be feared, because for all the joy his minions' awe brought him, it couldn't compare to the look on Mario's face. The plumber had backed up into a corner, his small, plump self staring up, what could only be described as terror. It was a look Bowser had seen during their first meeting, way back in level 1 through 4, and never since. The Koopa King threw his head back and laughed. And what a strange laugh it was, not his usual self. Ground-shaking guffaw. Guffaw. It's a funny word, but something that resonated with a wicked and distinctively feminine charm.
What's the matter, Mario?
Hey, girl, you want to see my penis? You want to see mine?
Oh my god. We're supposed to be reading this, like, straight through and not making jokes.
Said Bowser, his new sultry voice filling the chamber.
Afraid? Don't like what you see? Or maybe?
Bowser stroked his hand over his full breasts.
Maybe you're afraid that you do like it.
It's a... stammered Mario. It's a you. Bowser chuckled again.
That's right, Plumber. Your mortal enemy. Although I think the name Bowser is a little old hat. Wouldn't you agree?
He twirled around, showing off his slender, humanoid body, complete with spiky shell and signature horns.
What do you think of Bowsette, the greatest princess the Mushroom Kingdom has ever known?
Cue cheering sound effect. A cheer came from the crowd of bad guys, all hailing their ruler's new form, all except one, a pink figure who slipped out of the back door, unnoticed. Bowsette strutted toward Mario with a sharp-toothed grin.
Now, what do you say we have a Little fun. Just you and me. 1-on-1.
She stopped in front of Mario, pausing for a few moments before turning to glare at her minions.
I said 1-on-1.
The crowd quickly dispersed, leaving the hero and the villain alone together. Bowsette leaned over, exposing her massive cleavage to her arch enemy. "Mamma mia!" said Mario, staring in spite of himself, a blush coming over his face.
What do you say, plumber? Want to inspect my pipes?
She leaned one hand against the wall, stroking the other down the side of Mario's face and twirling a finger in his mustache.
This is you.
This is you.
Oh, you want to play Dr. Mario on me?
Yes! But Bowser, this is a crazy.
How long has it been for you, Mario?
How long since I make a spaghetti? Mario tried with a nervous smile.
Since you fuck, Mario.
Said Bowsette, grabbing his shirt and pushing him against the wall.
How long has it been since you fucked someone?
Mario gulped. This is so unlike you.
Answer the question, Jumpman.
It's been, Mario lowered his cap to hide his face and looked away. I've never actually, oh! Bowsette's eyes went wide, and then she threw her head back once again and laughed uproariously.
Holy fire flower. You never had your beanstalk climb? Never done the happy thwomp dance? Never shared your one-up?
Oh man, if I ever get a girlfriend that loves video games, I know which fanfic I'm referring to for all of my lines.
Read it. Read it.
Mario grinned uncomfortably and shook his head.
Jeez, Mario. Even I've gotten laid. And I'm a giant turtle monster. Or rather...
She leaned in closer.
I was. Tell me, do you like this new form?
Mario's focus had shifted back to her breasts, and he nodded his head. She ran a finger across his lips and then down to one of the buttons on his overalls.
Do you want to feel what it's like inside?
Oh yeah.
Open salami.
Then get ready.
She unfastened one strap,
Player 1.
then the other.
The game is just about to start.
That is the end of chapter 1. Please flip disc to other side. Okay, chapter 2, let's go, boy. Bowsette pulled Mario's overalls down to his knees and looked down at his already engorged magic mushroom. A coy smile came over her face, and she met his eyes again. She pushed the top of her black dress down, exposing her full breasts. Perky nipples hard in the chamber air. Mario slowly reached for one. Meanwhile, just outside the castle wall, 3 Goombas were standing one on top of the other, so that the highest one could look through one of the arched windows and observe the scene within. Can you see them? Asked the bottom Goomba. Replied the top Goomba.
Oh man, she just grabbed his face and bit it in between her tits.
For real? Asked the middle Goomba. Confirmed the top.
Oh man, this is amazing.
Here's hoping Lakitu gets here with the camera soon, said the bottom.
You really can't be doing that. I can't do that.
Said another Goomba standing off to the side.
Oh, shut your face, Carl.
I like how the top just went from normal voice to Tyrone. Retorted the top.
What's your problem? I can't do this, dude.
Watching two people get intimate without thinking shit is wrong and weird and unprofessional. You know that's a boss in there, right?
Sure, but the boss is really hot today.
Bowsette released Mario's head from where she'd been smothering it against her breasts. Mario looked flushed, dazed, and rather content. She slapped him across the face and gripped his jaw in one hand. Gulp. The other raising her right breast towards his face.
Suck,
She demanded quietly. Mario complied, taking the nipple between his lips and sliding his tongue around it in slow circles. Bowsette hummed quietly, watching him, reflecting on how surreal this all was. The Koopa King had never found Mario attractive, still didn't if she was being honest with herself, but seeing her arch enemy of over 30 years reduced to her willing slave was so goddamn satisfying. And she felt her pussy getting more moist by the second.
you seem to have a way with your tongue.
Now, I might have not gotten laid, but I've had some of Peach's cake, let me tell you. She said, pulling his face away. She stood.
Do you think it's ready to move on to level 2?
Boing! She let her dress fall to the floor, revealing her green thong, decorated in several small pictures of POW blocks. She hooked one of her sharp claw-like fingernails under the fabric on her right hip, slicing through the side of the garment before repeating the same action on the left side. She tossed the thong away with flair and stood over Mario, legs wide, revealing her glistening bare cunt.
Mario, paint me like one of your Italian girls.
Okie dokie.
Come on, this is the perfect time for a reference to Mario Paint. Like, what the f... she said before pouncing on him. What's happening now?
Oh man, she's riding that mustache.
Carl sighed and closed his eyes. Y'all need Gino.
Okay, dude, I can't be serious.
Mario knew that his tongue wasn't as long or as strong as a Yoshi's. He must be talking from experience. But he was still trying his best to keep up as Bowsette ground her pussy into his face. Bowsette let out several high-pitched cries of ecstasy as she felt the tongue slip through the folds, slide against her clit, and thrust inside her. She positioned herself so that all of Mario's attention was focused on her clit and tightened her thighs around his head. It wasn't long before she came, muscles contracting, her scream bouncing off the chamber walls. She moved down to sit on Mario's legs, panting, and looked at Mario's flushed face, wet with her juices.
That was...
she said, a little flustered. She quickly regained her composure and smiled evilly. Her gaze flickered to his waist before meeting his eyes again.
Would you like me to return the favor?
She let her long, pointy, agile tongue slither out of her mouth. Mario's eyes went wide and nodded eagerly. She grinned a toothy grin, exposing her razor-sharp teeth. Mario quickly shook his head, retracting his invitation.
The horror.
Well then,
She said.
I guess it's time to move on to the final boss.
She positioned herself above him and slid herself all the way down his flagpole for the full 5,000 points. Her pussy was as tight as the jaws of a piranha plant, but smooth and slick as Blooper. It was safe to say that any dry bones in this area were no longer dry. Stop! She raised her hips and then crashed them back down against him like she was a blue shell and he was a first place racer. Stop! Over and over again, she slid her lava-like heat up and down the length of his P-switch, and Mario found himself exclaiming, "Yeah! Ho! Wah! Ho ho! Yahee! Yippee!"
Huh?
Said the top Goomba.
It's weird to see someone else bouncing on Mario for a change. But hey, I ain't complaining.
Man, this must be some sweet revenge. I don't
It's
really.
gotta be like revenge porn or something.
Just really don't understand the. I really just don't understand the appeal of this at all," said Carl.
Seriously? What are you, gay? Nah.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that. And besides, you're the one who's watching two men go at it right now.
It's not gay when one of the men is a woman.
Is it bad? I can actually see you giving that advice, Vontae. Like, I can legit seeing you say that, like, in an actual situation for some reason.
Traps are gay, but traps with pussies are not gay. They're hermaphrodites.
And that's another thing I don't get, continued Carl. Bowser was never this horny before. Now he turns into a woman and suddenly he's a nymphomaniac. The whole scenario seems very deeming toward... Shut up, Carl! Yelled the three other Goombas in unison. Heat twirled like a fireball inside Mario, and he could feel his climax approaching. Bowser, I'm gonna...
Here we go.
Bowsette slapped him.
Hey, keep it together. This isn't a speed run.
In an attempt to buy more time, Bowsette leaned over and sunk her teeth into his shoulder. Mario let out a cry in pain, and Bowsette sat back up, licking the blood from her lips. She'd enjoyed that, and it gave her an idea. Time for the plot twist. She curled her fingers around his neck and squeezed. If the water levels of the past had taught Bowsette anything, it was that Mario could hold his breath for a very long time. He'd be fine. His eyes went wide as she cut off his air supply, but he made no attempt to resist. In fact, she could feel his cock twitch violently inside her. He liked it. Speaking of Twitch, follow KumaDen on Twitch. She grinned widely. And what would Peach think if she could see them now? The two people who'd been pinning over her for decades, finally getting from each other the satisfaction she never offered them. Would she be jealous? The thought made Bowsette increase her speed and tighten her grip, fucking Mario with reckless abandon. Mario's face started to turn blue, his fingers pressing against the castle wall, overwhelmed to the combined need to breathe and desire to come. The blummer could tell he was running out of time on both fronts as the background music sped up. Bowsette was getting close as well, high-pitched moans escaping her mouth once more, breasts bouncing whenever her hips come crashing down, her sex leaking and trembling, so hot and tight and slick around Mario. Suddenly, Mario couldn't take it anymore, and he went off inside her like a bomb, shooting his thick, white bullet bills into her body. This is worse than fucking Vontae's puns. Bowsette came to, eyebrows knitting, and she spasmed on top of him, her grip on his neck not letting up for a second. Unfortunately for Mario, he'd gone for too long without air and promptly died, with a traditional sound effect. Do 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 do. He fell through the floor, leaving Bowsette alone in the room. Bowsette sat there a little stunned. For once, she actually hadn't meant to kill him. This had been the first time and all, and knowing it had ended like this made her feel something. A feeling she wasn't used to. Could it be guilt? No, that wasn't possible. Bowser never felt guilt in his entire life, especially not over something like harming Mario. Why would she start feeling bad about it now? In any case, Mario had plenty of extra lives, and he would surely respawn safe and sound elsewhere. Bowsette pushed aside any negative feelings she had, shrugged to herself, and began getting dressed. Meanwhile, the three voyeuristic Goombas stood side by side, enjoying what they considered to be a well-earned smoke.
That's really bad for you, you know.
Said Carl. So what did you think, Vontae? How was your first fanfic reading?
Wow. Why, Luigi?
Oh my
Why?
god.
I'm saying hallelujah.
Oh my god, there's so many Mario sex puns. I know what I'm using next if I ever get laid. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed Bowsette's Awakening. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure to check out Kuma in the link in the description below. And make sure to clean the pipes every now and then.
Why?
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can check out my previous video here, or even a playlist related to this video here. There is also a video that was picked out by YouTube just for you, and last but not least, you can click here to subscribe. Anyway guys, my name is Aura, and I'll see you later. Take care.